Hope you guys get something from it. So, when I was much younger, probably, oh, 14, 13 or so, I played a lot of MMO games like World of Warcraft and RuneScape. And I guess that's where a lot of this starts. Because I just had a nasty habit of trying to scrounge up the spare little golds and in-game items off of buying and selling stuff with other people, and doing whatever else we did. At one point, I got into a guild in World of Warcraft where it was a pretty I don't know if it was like top of the line. It was super active. There was a bunch of people in there who played a lot. We're into the whole rating thing and everything like that. And a lot of it was, well, it took a lot of resources to do a lot of that group stuff. Um, so we had a guy, I forget his name. It's something to do with a tree or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember any of the little usernames or whatever. I remember mine. I called myself what did I call Evil Pop Tart. That was funny. In Evil Pop Tart. That was my little moniker for when I was younger. I used it for a lot of my little raid RuneScape stuffs. That's what I called my characters back in the day. Um, so, anyways, back to the guy, the tree guy. He was like our lead alchemist and cooker guy. He did a lot of the consumable stuff for all the raiding and whatnot. And he was remarkable at doing stuff with the auction house and all this other stuff. And he put a lot of effort into it. He was an older guy, and I don't know if he ever told me, but I assume he was like an accountant or some sort of actuary or something, because he's a very analytical, very mathematical guy, and it's just what interested him. So he did that a lot, and yeah, I had a lot of spare time because I was like 13, and I'd go to school and come home and play World of Warcraft, and so yeah, he taught me a lot about what he was doing in the auction house and stuff like that, and in hindsight, it was a lot of like kind of underhanded stuff. We did a lot of stuff that probably would have qualified as like friggin' market manipulation in the real world, but like as we go in and we'd buy up the first, like, say there was like 50 pages of copper ore. We go in and we buy up the first like 5 to 10 pages of all the cheap copper ore, up to a certain price, and then we reprice all the copper ore we just bought at the price we bought it to. And you'd sell a bunch of it and you keep some, and that was kind of how we go about amassing large amounts of in-game items using large amounts of currency kind of donated by the guild and stuff like that. And yeah, it was fun. We had a lot of raids, and this is way back. This is, if any of you know World of Warcraft, this is all the way back in like Burning Crusade, before the Lich King expansion. It was way back when. So, anyways, then when I got I don't know, I was 18, 16, 18. I was just kind of entrepreneurial, and I kind of wanted to go one way, but kind of things went another way, and I sort of went to college for finance, and sort of early on in that process and kind of exploring finance more and stuff like that, I learned about the market, and I mean, I always kind of knew about it, and like it just wasn't something I was super interested in until I was like 17 or 18 or so. I think somebody got me a book at some point. I don't know. I can't remember the book or what it was, but anyways, so I started looking at the market, and I was familiar with auction markets already because I had played a lot of World of Warcraft, and so a lot of it was kind of second nature to me, and the prices moving up and down, supply and demand, and people buying and selling stuff, and the reasons why, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, obviously the stock market's a lot harder, and I learned that. I obviously, like everyone else, we go into things a little too confident, but you learn. I learned through trial and error. It was a nice long journey. Anyways, I think I probably back in college was the first time I was like 20 by the time I actually got a couple of bucks set aside and some accounts set up, and I started dabbling in the trading. I mean, I was doing a lot of paper trading and stuff before that. Trying to just figure things out, because that's what I like to do. I like to figure things out. So we were just doing that for a while, and they kind of spinning my gears. So I got, went through college, got out of college, started dating a girl, kind of bounced around a couple of jobs. Never really accumulated enough capital to be dangerous. But yeah, you just learn and experiment, and one foot in front of the other, keep it moving. Then sometime, it was a couple of years before COVID, maybe a full year before COVID, year and a half before COVID. I was pretty active on a stock trading forum at that time, StockTwits. And I met a bunch of guys there, a bunch of older guys, really. They were all much older. Honestly, like a lot of them had retired by now. That's kind of why I don't go on StockTwits anymore. It's kind of sad for me, because all my old friends kind of don't go on there anymore either. It's just, Anyways, so anyways, I learned from a couple of them, and they taught me more about the market, as far as like how options and futures work, derivatives, a lot of stuff. We did a lot of what they did was focused on selling options. Honestly, for the longest time, I sold options to start with, which I think was probably part of the reason I survived. Is I had a lot of people in my social circle, before I even started getting money. They were telling me, giving me all sorts of good advice, like you definitely don't want to be accumulating too much of these options, right? Like they're definitely leveraged positions, and there's smart ways to sell them, and there's many less smart ways to buy them. So I think it was very beneficial to the learning to start off with net sales, and I was just doing small stuff, wheeling some like little silver ETFs and selling some spreads on stuff, just small stuff, learn how to do it. And then, through that and working and doing some other stuff, we kind of piled up some money, and now, one thing leads to another, and